Ladies and gentlemen, life is a journey, and on this journey, what we tell ourselves matters. Our thoughts shape our reality. So today I want to share with you 9 things you should tell yourself every single day, reminders that will empower you, strengthen you, and keep you moving forward with purpose. I want you to take a moment and think about something, the story of your life. Every single one of us is living out a story. It's a narrative that has unfolded from the moment we took our first breath until this very day. And just like any great story, there are highs and lows, triumphs and failures, moments of joy and moments of heartbreak. But here's the thing I need you to remember: you are the author of your story. You see, too many people go through life feeling like they are passengers on a ride they didn't choose, as if they're at the mercy of the winds of fate with no control over where they're headed. But the truth is, life is not happening to you. You are not a passive participant in your own journey. You are the one holding the pen. You are writing every chapter, every page, every line. Be circumstances beyond your control. There will be things that happen to you that you didn't ask for, that you couldn't have predicted, and that you may wish never happened at all. But even then, especially then, you still have the power to write the next chapter. Step to being the author of your story is taking ownership. And let me tell you, that's not always easy. It's tempting to play the blame game, to point fingers at people or situations when things go wrong. I didn't get the promotion because my boss doesn't like me. I didn't finish school because my circumstances were too tough. I can't be happy because my past is too painful. But if you spend your time pointing fingers at everyone else, you'll never realize the power you have to change your own situation. Taking ownership of your story means accepting that, while you may not be able to control everything that happens to you, you can always control how you respond. It means understanding that your choices, not your circumstances, are what ultimately shape your life. This is where so many people get stuck. They get caught up in the narrative that they're victims of their circumstances. But if you want to be the author of your story, you need to let go of that mindset. You need to reclaim your power. You need to say, "This is my life, and I am responsible for how it turns out." One of the most incredible things about being the author of your story is that you can rewrite the script at any time. I don't care where you are right now or what you've been through, your story is not over. You may be in the middle of a tough chapter, but that doesn't mean the book ends there. The beautiful thing about life is that it's constantly evolving. Every day is a blank page waiting for you to fill it. So don't get stuck in a story that no longer serves you. Don't let past mistakes or failures hold you back. Don't let fear keep you from turning the page. Now, let's talk about choices, because being the author of your story ultimately comes down to the choices you make. Every single day you are faced with choices that will shape your future. Some of those choices are big, life-altering decisions. Others are small, seemingly insignificant. But every choice matters. The choices you make about how you spend your time, who you surround yourself with, what you focus on, and how you react to challenges all add up to create the life you live. So if you want to change your story, you need to start making different choices. You need to be intentional about the decisions you make every day. Success doesn't happen by accident. Happiness doesn't just fall into your lap. You have to make choices that lead you toward the life you want to live. You have to be disciplined. You have to be focused. And most importantly, you have to be willing to take action. As the author of your story, you're going to face fear. You're going to face uncertainty. You're going to encounter moments when you're not sure what the next page holds. But that's part of the process. That's what makes the journey meaningful. Don't let fear hold you back. Don't let the unknown stop you from writing your next chapter. The greatest stories are the ones where the hero steps into the unknown with courage, knowing that the path may be difficult, but trusting that they have what it takes to make it through. So as you go through life, remember this: you are the author of your story. You have the power to shape your future. Don't let anyone else hold the pen. Don't let fear, doubt, or past mistakes dictate how your story unfolds. And most importantly, write a story worth telling. Write a story that you're proud of. Make the kind of choices that lead to a life filled with purpose, passion, and meaning. Because at the end of the day, it's not the challenges you face that define your life, it's how you rise above them. Today, I want to talk to you about something that holds many of us back in life, the chase for perfection. You see, we live in a world that constantly tells us that we need to be perfect. Perfect in our work, perfect in our relationships, perfect in how we look, how we act, how we perform. It's everywhere on social media, in advertisements, and sometimes even in the expectations of those around us. But here's the truth: perfection is an illusion. And if you spend your life chasing it, you'll find yourself feeling empty and unfulfilled. What we should be chasing instead is progress. Progress is where the real growth happens. Progress is what moves us forward, even when the steps are small and imperfect. Progress is what transforms our lives, because while perfection is unattainable, progress is always within reach. And that's what I want you to embrace, not the unreachable, but the possible. Perfection is seductive. It tells us that if we could just do everything right, if we could just hit every mark without making a single mistake, then we would finally be worthy, we would finally be happy. But perfection is also a trap, and it can paralyze you if you let it. Think about it. How many times have you hesitated to start something new because you were afraid it wouldn't be perfect? How many opportunities have you passed up because you didn't feel ready yet? We get caught up in this idea that everything needs to be flawless from the beginning, and as a result, we don't even begin. We procrastinate. We wait, we tell ourselves, I'll do it when the time is right, when I'm better prepared, when I have everything figured out. But the time will never be right, and you'll never have everything figured out. Perfection keeps us stuck in place because it demands too much. It demands that we be something we're not flawless. But life doesn't work that way. Life is messy, and progress is messy. And that's okay, because growth comes from that messiness, from making mistakes, learning and trying again. So instead of chasing perfection, I want you to focus on something much more attainable: progress. Progress is not about being perfect. It's about showing up every day and giving your best effort, even if that effort isn't flawless. It's about taking small, steady steps toward your goals, even when those steps feel slow or difficult. Progress understands that mistakes are part of the journey. In fact, progress welcomes mistakes because it knows that we learn more from our failures than from our successes. Each time you fall, you're given the opportunity to rise again, and that's where the real strength lies. Progress isn't about never falling down. It's about getting up every time you do. Let's be clear, pursuing progress doesn't mean you lower your standards or stop striving for excellence. No, it's about having high standards, but recognizing that growth is a process. It's about understanding that success isn't about reaching a state of flawlessness. It's about moving forward, step by step, no matter how small those steps may be. I want to take a moment to talk about perfectionism, because it's something many of us struggle with. Perfectionism is often mistaken for a good quality, but in reality, it can be crippling. It can lead to procrastination, anxiety, and burnout. When you're always striving for perfection, nothing ever feels good enough. You finish a project, and instead of celebrating your accomplishment, you focus on every little thing that could have been better. You beat yourself up over the details that didn't go according to plan. Perfectionism steals your joy. It prevents you from appreciating the progress you've made, because all you can see is what you didn't achieve. It's a never-ending cycle of dissatisfaction, and it can drain your energy and your spirit. The truth is, perfection is an unrealistic standard. No one achieves it. Not the people you admire, not the celebrities you see on TV, not the influencers on social media. Behind every success story is a series of mistakes, failures, and imperfections. The difference is, those people didn't let the pursuit of perfection hold them back. They pursued progress instead. They learned from their mistakes and kept moving forward. Let's talk about small steps. When you focus on progress, you understand the value of small, consistent efforts. It's not about making giant leaps all at once, it's about taking one step at a time, steadily moving toward your goal. You see, small steps add up. Over time, they lead to big results. But when you're chasing perfection, you might not even take that first step because you're so focused on the end result. You think, I need to have it all figured out before I begin. But that's not true. Progress isn't about having it all figured out. It's about learning as you go. It's about adapting and growing along the way. The power of small steps is that they're manageable. They're doable. And when you focus on making progress, you start to build momentum. Each small victory gives you the confidence to keep going. And before you know it, you're much further along than you ever thought possible. So how do you let go of perfection and embrace progress? It starts with shifting your mindset. You need to give yourself permission to be imperfect. You need to recognize that mistakes are part of the process, not the end of it. And you need to celebrate your progress, no matter how small it may seem. Start by setting realistic goals. Instead of aiming for perfection, aim for improvement. Ask yourself, how can I get just a little bit better today than I was yesterday? That's progress. It's not about making huge leaps. It's about making steady, consistent improvements over time. Be patient with yourself. Growth takes time, and change doesn't happen overnight. There will be days when you feel like you're not moving fast enough, but remember that progress is a marathon, not a sprint. The important thing is that you're moving forward. And most importantly, learn to appreciate the journey. Success is not a destination. It's a continuous process of growth and learning. So celebrate your progress along the way. Celebrate the fact that you're showing up, that you're trying, and that you're moving closer to your goals every single day. Ladies and gentlemen, life is not about being perfect. It's about making progress. It's about showing up, putting in the effort, and growing a little more each day. Don't let the pursuit of perfection hold you back from taking that first step. Don't let fear of making mistakes stop you from trying. Focus on progress, not perfection. Take small steps. Learn from your failures. Celebrate your victories, no matter how small they may seem. Because at the end of the day, it's not about being flawless, it's about becoming the best version of yourself, one step at a time. Tonight, I want to talk to you about a concept that might seem counterintuitive at first. It's a principle that, when embraced, can change the entire trajectory of your life. That principle is this: discipline equals freedom. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. How can discipline, the very thing that often feels like a restriction, lead to freedom? But if you truly understand the power of discipline, you'll realize that it's not a form of limitation. It's the very key that unlocks the doors to your greatest potential. Discipline is often misunderstood. Many people think it's about depriving yourself of the things you enjoy, or about adhering to rigid rules that take the fun out of life. But that's not what discipline is. Discipline is about making choices, tough choices, yes, but choices that lead you toward the life you want to live. It's about prioritizing your long-term goals over your short-term desires. It's about having the self-control to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. Discipline is waking up early to work on your dreams when everyone else is still sleeping. It's hitting the gym when your body wants to rest. It's choosing to study when it would be easier to watch TV. Discipline is what separates those who achieve greatness from those who settle for mediocrity. Because here's the thing: success in any area of life is not about talent or luck. It's about discipline. It's about consistency. It's about doing the hard things day in and day out, even when no one is watching. Talk about freedom for a moment. Most people think freedom is doing whatever you want, whenever you want. It's indulging in your desires without restraint. But here's the truth: that kind of freedom is an illusion. It might feel good in the moment, but in the long run, it often leads to the very opposite of freedom. Think about it. If you indulge in whatever you want, whether it's food, entertainment, spending money without a plan, or avoiding responsibilities, what happens? In the short term, you feel free. You feel like you're living life on your terms. But over time, those choices start to catch up with you. You find yourself in poor health, in debt, or in a cycle of procrastination and missed opportunities. You become trapped by the very things you thought were setting you free. That's because freedom without discipline is chaos. It's a freedom that leads to confinement. It locks you into unhealthy habits, financial stress, and missed potential. On the other hand, discipline creates true freedom, the kind of freedom that allows you to live life on your own terms, not just today, but for years to come. Financial freedom is one of the most sought-after forms of freedom, yet so few people achieve it. Why? Because financial freedom requires discipline. It requires the discipline to save, to invest, to live within your means. It's about making the tough decision to skip the instant gratification of a new purchase in favor of long-term stability. When you have the discipline to manage your money wisely, you give yourself the freedom to live without the stress of debt, without the fear of financial insecurity, and with the ability to pursue the life you truly want. Greatest gifts you owe yourself. When you lack discipline, your time gets eaten up by distractions, procrastination, and things that don't align with your goals. You feel overwhelmed, like there aren't enough hours in the day to get everything done. But when you have the discipline to set priorities, to focus on what matters, and to eliminate distractions, you take control of your time. You gain the freedom to spend your days doing the things that matter most to you, whether that's building a business, spending time with loved ones, or pursuing personal passions. Discipline isn't just about external actions, it's about internal mastery. When you have discipline over your thoughts and emotions, you gain mental freedom. You're no longer a slave to negative thinking, to anxiety, to fear. You develop the ability to focus your mind, to remain calm in stressful situations, and to push through challenges with a sense of purpose. Mental discipline gives you the freedom to pursue your goals without being derailed by self-doubt or emotional turbulence. One of the key aspects of discipline is consistency. It's not about making one good decision or having one productive day. It's about making good decisions day after day, even when it's hard, even when you're tired, even when you don't feel like it. Consistency is what turns discipline into a habit. And once discipline becomes a habit, it no longer feels like a burden, it becomes a part of who you are. Consistency is also what leads to results. If you want to achieve anything meaningful in life, it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take time, effort, and patience. But when you stay disciplined and consistent, you start to see progress. And that progress fuels your motivation to keep going. Success doesn't come from a single moment of greatness, it comes from small, consistent actions over time. So how do you cultivate discipline? It starts with a decision. You have to decide that your goals are worth the effort. You have to commit to the process, knowing that it won't always be easy, but that the rewards are worth it. Once you've made that decision, it's about taking action every day, even when it's hard. Set clear goals. Break them down into manageable steps. Create a routine that supports your goals. And most importantly, don't rely on motivation. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline is what keeps you moving forward when motivation fades. And remember, discipline is a skill. It's something you can build over time. Start small. Focus on one area of your life where you want to improve and practice discipline in that area. As you build discipline in one part of your life, it will start to spill over into other areas. So, embrace discipline. Don't see it as something that limits you. See it as the key that unlocks the doors to your future. Because at the end of the day, the more disciplined you are, the freer you will become. Tonight, I want to talk to you about a truth that many of us instinctively resist, but one that is essential to personal growth. Growth happens in the struggle. We live in a world that glorifies success, celebrates achievements, and paints a picture of life that makes it seem like we should always be winning, always succeeding, and always moving forward without any obstacles. But the reality is that true growth, the kind of growth that transforms you from the inside out, doesn't happen when everything is going smoothly. It happens in the struggle. It happens in those moments when you're challenged, stretched, and pushed beyond your limits. That's where the magic of growth really begins. Let's take a look at nature. A seed doesn't grow into a strong tree by staying comfortable underground. It has to push through the dirt, struggle against the weight of the soil, and break through the surface to reach the sunlight. That's how it grows. And you are no different. When you face struggle, when you face adversity, it's like being buried under the weight of the world. But it's in that pressure, in that pushing and pulling, that you develop strength. Just like when you go to the gym, lifting heavy weights tears your muscles down so they can grow back stronger. Struggle works the same way in your life. It's the resistance, the difficulty, the hard times that build your inner strength. You don't become mentally strong, emotionally resilient, or spiritually grounded by coasting through life. You become strong by facing adversity head-on, by going through things that challenge you, and by emerging on the other side better than you were before. Every struggle you face is an opportunity to learn. It's easy to coast through life when things are going well, but it's in the tough times that you learn the most valuable lessons. When you fail, you learn about perseverance. When you experience loss, you learn about gratitude. When you face rejection, you learn about resilience. These are the lessons that shape you and prepare you for what's next. But here's the thing, you have to be willing to learn. Struggles will happen whether you like it or not, but growth is optional. Growth happens when you embrace the struggle and open yourself up to the lessons it has to teach you. When you stop asking. Growth doesn't happen in the comfort zone. If you want to stay the same, stay comfortable. But if you want to grow, you have to be willing to step outside of that comfort zone. And often struggle is what forces you to do just that. Think about it, how many times have you made significant changes in your life when everything was easy? Probably not many. It's when life gets tough, when you're faced with a challenge, that you're forced to step outside of what's comfortable. Struggle forces you to try new things, to think differently, to innovate, and to adapt. It pushes you to grow in ways you never would have if everything had stayed easy. To bounce back from setbacks, to keep going even when life knocks you down. It's not something you're born with, it's something you develop over time, through struggle. Each time you face a challenge and get back up, you're building resilience. Resilience doesn't mean you won't feel pain, sadness, or frustration. It doesn't mean you won't fall down or have moments of doubt. It means you don't stay down. It means you find the strength to keep moving forward, even when the road is tough. And the more you build resilience, the more capable you become of handling whatever life throws your way. Struggle has a way of revealing your true character. When everything is going well, it's easy to be positive, confident, and in control. But when life throws you a curveball, when you're faced with a challenge, that's when your true self comes to the surface. Struggle strips away the superficial and shows you who you really are. It's in the tough times that you discover your strength, your perseverance, and your courage. It's in the struggle that you find out what you're truly made of. And sometimes that can be a hard pill to swallow. Struggle will reveal your weaknesses, your fears, and your insecurities. But it will also give you the opportunity to confront them, to grow from them, and to become the person you're meant to be. So how do we embrace the struggle? How do we shift our mindset from avoiding difficulty to embracing it as a necessary part of growth? It starts with understanding that struggle is not a punishment, it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to learn, to grow, to strengthen yourself, and to become the best version of you. When you stop resisting the struggle and start embracing it, you open yourself up to growth in ways you never imagined. You become more resilient, more adaptable, and more capable of handling whatever life throws your way. Ladies and gentlemen, growth happens in the struggle. It happens in the moments when you feel like giving up. but you choose to keep going. It happens in the challenges that push you beyond your limits, that force you to dig deep and find strength you didn't know you had. Struggle is not something to fear, it's something to embrace, because it's the gateway to your greatest growth. So the next time you find yourself in the middle of a struggle, remember this: it's not the end of the road, it's the beginning of a transformation. The struggle is shaping you, molding you, and preparing you for what's next. And when you come out on the other side, you'll be stronger, wiser, and more powerful than you ever were before. First, we need to recognize why peace is so important. Peace is more than just a state of relaxation, it's the foundation for everything you want to achieve in life. When you are at peace within yourself, you think more clearly, you make better decisions, and you respond to challenges with calm and confidence. Peace allows you to navigate the ups and downs of life without being thrown off course. It gives you the strength to stay focused on your goals and to maintain your emotional and mental health, no matter what is happening around you. Without peace, everything feels harder. When your mind is constantly racing, when you're stressed out and anxious, it's difficult to make progress. You find yourself reacting to life instead of creating the life you want. You lose sight of what really matters because you're caught up in the chaos. But when you protect your peace, you create space for clarity, for growth, and for the pursuit of your highest potential. To protect your peace, you first need to understand what's disturbing it. What are the things, people, or situations in your life that consistently bring stress, anxiety, or negativity into your space? Is it a toxic relationship, a stressful job, financial pressures, or perhaps the constant bombardment of negative news and social media? Identifying these peace disruptors is the first step in taking control. Too often, we allow external forces to dictate our internal state. We let the opinions of others, the expectations of society, or the pressures of daily life take priority over our own well-being. But you have to be aware of what's pulling you out of your peace and make a conscious decision not to allow those things to have power over you. It's important to remember that not everything that demands your attention deserves your attention. Protecting your peace means being selective about what and who you allow into your life. It's about recognizing when something is draining you and having the courage to step away from it. One of the most powerful ways to protect your peace is by setting and maintaining boundaries. Boundaries are not about shutting people out or avoiding responsibility. They're about creating limits that honor your well-being. Whether it's in your relationships, your work, or even your time, boundaries help you create a space where your peace can thrive. For example, you might need to set boundaries around your time on social media. Maybe you find yourself scrolling endlessly, comparing your life to others, and feeling worse because of it. Protecting your peace might mean limiting your screen time or unfollowing accounts that bring negativity into your life. In relationships, boundaries are equally important. You need to know when to say no, when to step back, and when to distance yourself from people who drain your energy or disrespect your boundaries. It's not selfish, it's self-preservation. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You can't show up as the best version of yourself for others if you're constantly sacrificing your own peace. Your energy is your most valuable resource, and it directly affects your peace. Pay attention to where and how you're spending your energy. Are you giving too much to things that don't serve you? Are you surrounding yourself with people who lift you up or people who pull you down? Protecting your peace means protecting your energy from anything or anyone that depletes it. It's easy to get caught up in other people's problems and drama, or in situations that don't serve you. But you have to recognize that not every battle is yours to fight, and not every problem requires your input. Guard your energy. Choose where you invest it wisely. Sometimes protecting your energy means stepping back from situations or people that are toxic. This can be difficult, especially when it involves people you care about or situations that feel familiar. But at the end of the day, your peace has to come first. You cannot allow others to dictate how you feel or to drain your energy without your A crucial part of protecting your peace is maintaining a consistent practice of mindfulness and self-care. Mindfulness helps you stay present and centered, even in the midst of chaos. It allows you to observe your thoughts and emotions without being overwhelmed by them. When you practice mindfulness, you're better able to catch yourself when you start spiraling into stress or anxiety, and you can bring yourself back to a place of calm. Self-care goes hand in hand with mindfulness. It's about taking the time to nurture your physical, emotional, and mental well-being. Whether that's through meditation, exercise, spending time in nature, or simply taking a break when you need it, self-care is how you refill your cup. It's how you ensure that you have the energy and peace to face whatever challenges come your way. Not every challenge or conflict deserves your attention. One of the keys to protecting your peace is learning to choose your battles wisely. Ask yourself, is this worth my time, energy, and peace? If the answer is no, then it's okay to let it go. This doesn't mean avoiding conflict or important issues, but it does mean being discerning about where you invest your emotional energy. You don't have to engage in every argument, solve every problem, or react to every situation. Sometimes the best way to protect your peace is to simply walk away. Let go of the need to be right, to prove a point, or to win every battle. Choose your peace over your pride. One of the most empowering things you can do to protect your peace is to learn how to say no. So often, we say yes to things we don't want to do, to commitments that overwhelm us, or to people who drain us, simply because we're afraid of disappointing others. But every time you say yes to something that doesn't serve you, you're saying no to your peace. No is a complete sentence. It doesn't require an explanation. Protecting your peace means having the courage to say no to anything that takes you away from your well-being, your goals, or your happiness. And remember, every time you say no to something that doesn't align with your peace, you're saying yes to yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, protecting your peace is not just about staying calm or avoiding stress. It's about reclaiming your power. It's about recognizing that your peace is the foundation for everything you want to achieve in life, and that without it, nothing else will fall into place. Protecting your peace is an act of self-love, self-respect, and self-preservation. So guard your energy, set boundaries, be mindful of what and who you allow into your space. And remember, peace is not something that happens by accident. It's something you create and protect every single day. Your peace is your power. And when you protect it, you give yourself the freedom to live a life of purpose. Tonight, I want to talk about a topic that resonates deeply within all of us. Whether we acknowledge it or not, your potential is waiting for you. Each one of us possesses a unique set of talents, skills, and abilities that are waiting to be uncovered, nurtured, and unleashed. But often we find ourselves caught in a web of self-doubt, fear, and external pressures that hold us back from realizing our true potential. It's time to break free from those limitations and step into the greatness that is already within you. First, we need to understand what potential truly means. It's not just about what you are today, it's about what you could become. Think of potential as a seed. Inside that seed is the blueprint for a magnificent tree, but it won't grow into that tree unless it's nurtured, watered, and given the right conditions to thrive. Your potential is the same way. It's waiting for you to recognize it, to believe in it, and to take action towards it. But so often we get caught up in the everyday grind. We become consumed with our responsibilities, our obligations, and the pressures of life. We forget to look within and ask ourselves, what am I truly capable of? This is the first step in unleashing your potential, recognizing that it exists and acknowledging that you have the power to tap into it. Belief is a powerful force. It shapes our reality and defines what we see as possible. The moment you begin to believe in your potential is the moment you set the wheels of transformation in motion. But here's the catch: belief is often a choice we have to make daily. Think about the things you've accomplished in your life. Were there times when you doubted yourself? Absolutely. But there were also times when you pushed through that doubt and chose to believe in your abilities. Those moments of belief are what propelled you forward. When you choose to believe in your potential, You silence the inner critic that tries to convince you that you can't, you shouldn't, or you won't. You replace fear with courage and uncertainty with determination. Fear and doubt are two of the biggest obstacles standing between you and your potential. They whisper lies in your ear, convincing you that you're not good enough, not ready, or not worthy of success. But here's the truth: fear is a natural part of the journey. Every successful person you admire has faced fear and doubt at some point in their lives. The difference is that they chose to push through those feelings instead of allowing them to dictate their actions. One of the most important lessons you can learn is that you don't have to eliminate fear to move forward. You simply need to acknowledge it and choose to act in spite of it. When you step outside your comfort zone and confront your fears head on, you not only discover your potential, you expand it. Every time you face a fear, you're pushing the boundaries of what you thought was possible, and you're opening up new pathways for growth and achievement. Understanding your potential and believing in it is only part of the equation. The next crucial step is taking action. Potential is not a static quality. It requires movement, momentum, and effort. You can't simply sit back and wait for your potential to reveal itself. You have to actively pursue it. It's essential to stay consistent and committed. Progress is not always linear. There will be ups and downs along the way. But each step you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to your potential. The key is to remain focused on your vision and keep moving forward, even when the journey gets tough. Your potential is the environment you create around yourself. The people you surround yourself with, the information you consume, and the energy you allow into your life play a significant role in shaping your mindset and motivation. Surround yourself with individuals who inspire you, challenge you, and uplift you. Seek out mentors, friends, and colleagues who believe in your potential and encourage you to strive for greatness. Their positive energy will help fuel your journey and keep you motivated when the going gets tough. Additionally, be mindful of the information you consume. In a world filled with negativity, it's essential to seek out sources of inspiration and knowledge. Read books, listen to podcasts, and engage with content that aligns with your goals and aspirations. The more positivity you invite into your life, the more likely you are to believe in your potential and take action toward it. As you pursue your potential, you will inevitably encounter failure. It's a natural part of the process. But here's the thing: failure is not the end, it's a stepping stone to success. Many of the most successful individuals attribute their achievements to the lessons they learned through failure. Instead of fearing failure, embrace it. Each setback offers valuable insights that can help you grow and improve. Reflect on what went wrong, adjust your approach, and try again. When you view failure as an opportunity for growth, rather than a reason to give up, you empower yourself to keep moving forward and to continually tap into your potential. As you work toward realizing your potential, don't forget to celebrate your progress along the way. Acknowledge the milestones you achieve, no matter how small they may seem. Celebrating your progress helps reinforce your belief in your potential and keeps you motivated to continue striving for greatness. Take time to reflect on how far you've come. Remind yourself of the challenges you've overcome and the skills you've developed. When you acknowledge your growth, you build confidence and momentum that propel you further toward your goals. Ladies and gentlemen, your potential is waiting for you. It's time to stop doubting yourself, stop allowing fear to hold you back, and stop waiting for the right time to pursue your dreams. You have everything within you to achieve greatness, and the only thing standing in your way is the choice to take action. Believe in yourself. Set your goals. Surround yourself with positivity. Embrace failure as a learning opportunity and celebrate your progress. When you do these things, you will unlock the door to your true potential, and you will discover that the possibilities are limitless. So, take that first step. Your potential is waiting for you, and the world is ready to witness the incredible things you are capable of achieving. It's time to step into your greatness and make your mark on this world.